Channel original movies, also known as DCOMs, need no introduction. Chances are, if you're on the younger side of being a millennial, or even the older side of being a Gen Zer, these movies had a significant impact on you growing up. Whether it was going to summer camp with the Jonas Brothers or having a stepsister from Planet Weird, the possibilities of these wacky worlds are literally endless. The executives at the Mouse House knew exactly how to market and promote to the preteen demographic, and of course, we ate it up. These movies are always colorful, creative, and campy, to say the least. With over 100 movies in their catalog, the aesthetics of these films remain consistent to this day. The way the characters dressed, the terminology they spoke, and the motivation these kids had to achieve their dreams and goals made these movies super aspirational to an entire generation. With the Y2K nostalgia trend taking over social media, I thought it would be fun to dissect how DCOMs helped shape the 2000s aesthetic, especially for tween culture. Everyone credits DCOMs like Get a Clue and the Cheetah Girls for building upon early odds fashion trends, but we're not talking about fashion. The identifying visual features of a DCOM wouldn't be the same without their signature set design. The design crew for these films always tapped into the tween dream aesthetic. What I remember loving about the way these films looked were the gel pen bright hues, the latest cool technology on display, and the messy maximalism of it all. These tropes could be found within the teen characters' bedrooms. In the entertainment industry, a production designer, an art director, and a set decorator work very carefully to create the world of a movie, television show, or music video. They read the scripts and build upon the character's mindset. They choose the color schemes, the decor, the props, and overall visual look of a film. Even if a character is doing something as simple as studying in their bedroom, the tiniest details surrounding them are essential. What you see in the background is what you perceive about the character. Welcome to a study of all the iconic bedrooms featured in a DCOM. We're breaking down tropes and trends like wall art, bedding, retro tech, and so much more. It's not just a case study. Think of it as a step-by-step guide on how to make your room a little more Disney Channel-ish. By the end of the video, I want you to have the most fantastic shopping list of things to look out for when you're thrifting, Etsying, or eBaying. Even if you're an adult, it's a fun way to reclaim your inner child. You don't have to go full out, but the next time you're in a decorative mood, maybe a fuzzy picture frame here or a heart-shaped pillow there might put a smile on your face. Number 1. We aren't covering Disney Channel TV shows. As much as I wanted Raven's basement bedroom or Hannah Montana's closet, teen bedroom decor on television are very different from movies. It's a little too Pottery Barn teen catalog for me. They always look a little too perfect and clean, mainly because they filmed those on a soundstage. For the most part, DCOM bedrooms always seemed more lived in, realistic, and obtainable. If you grew up in the 2000s, you, your best friend, or cousin might have had a room that actually looked like this. Number 2. The movies I picked to evaluate are from 1998 to 2008. I wanted to keep it in a 10-year time frame to cover the late 90s and early 00s aesthetic. Plus, the Miley, Selena, Jonas Demi era was the last time in my life I was a dedicated Disney Channel fan. Anytime after that, I'm a teensy bit unfamiliar with. Let me know if I should go through the newer ones and make a part 2. Number 3. I'll be using the term Y2K as an umbrella term for the styles associated with the decade. Be kind to me if I slip up and misuse it for a 90s or later years 00 trend. Number 4. I won't be covering big screen releases like the Lizzie McGuire movie, the Hannah Montana movie, or High School Musical 3. Those don't count as DCOMs. Number 5. I'm only covering teen girl bedrooms. No boys allowed. Duh. Okay, y'all. Now let's get this party started. Also, I was heavily inspired to create this video when watching the ModernGurlz Study of Style series. If you're not subscribed to them already, what are you doing? Go give them all the love and support in the world. It's no secret that in the 90s and early 2000s, the entertainment industry was going through a 60s and 70s aesthetic revival. Everything from Scooby-Doo to the Brady Bunch was getting oversaturated flower power reboots. New franchises like Austin Powers, That 70s Show, and MTV's The 70s House arrived on the bell-bottom media scene. According to one popular theory, this is known as the 30-year cycle, the idea that cultural trends move in patterns, resulting in the movement and tropes of previous decades, roughly 30 years later, hence the name. Producers and filmmakers look back at their own childhoods and attempt to recreate the magic. In the late 60s and early 70s, psychedelia and fun, bright colors were essential to the culture. Actress Rita Tushingham explains, "I look back at the 50s as almost being black and white. Then suddenly, when the 60s arrived, there was color. You were aware that color was coming through each element. You look at music, fashion, and people in those times and understand that people were more open to the world of creativity." In a typical DCOM set design, the spirit of color and creativity was alive and well, starting with the walls. Nearly every bedroom was painted a bold and eye-catching color. The most used colors were grape purple, Florida orange, pineapple yellow, strawberry pink, kiwi green, and blueberry blue. Here are some paint swatches to help you achieve that psychedelic fruit salad palette at home. But let's not stop at paint. Oh no, no minimalism allowed. No Team Dream Suite would be complete without wall art. Bulletin boards are a simple classic. They're displayed in nearly every one of these films. It's a perfect place to post your prized scraps. Try saying that 5 times fast. Get out your old movie tickets, Polaroids, or a flyer for an upcoming school event and clutter it up. Teen magazines are a dying art form. Can you believe that there's only 3 left that's still in print? Support print journalism and pick one up at the store for old time's sake. Cut it up and throw it on a poster board. Add glitter glue, stickers, and a feather boa as a trim, and boom! Insta-cute artwork for super cheap. Again, I used to have a ton of posters from the magazines I bought as a kid. I practically had a shrine to the Jonas Brothers at one point. Get creative and print out your fave movie posters or pop stars at home. Major bonus points if you create a shrine to the iconic Shane Gray, Protozoa, or Jordan Cahill. Whether it's hearts, stars, or flowers, a true child of the Y2K would post them anywhere and everywhere. Just don't let your parents know. Speaking of stickers, I wanted to give a shout out to the DISCODOTTIE shop. Not only does she create the most fantabulous Y2K stickers on the net, she also does graphic design commissions. She just so happened to create my adorable Lisa Frankalicious logo. I also couldn't help myself and went on a little sticker haul from her shop. They're even more adorable in person, promise. Lighting is fundamental to film because it creates a visual mood, atmosphere, and purpose for the audience. Nowadays, a trend in teen-based media is defined by a specific lighting look. Just a few examples include Euphoria, Riverdale, Insatiable, The Heathers reboot, and every other A24 film. The late 2010s will always be defined by the underground, Tumblr, and TikTok neon-hued aesthetic. This was quite the opposite compared to the bright, happy, sunshine pop lighting of early DCOMs. Here are some light and lampware to keep an eye on while you're shopping for a similar glow. To spruce up a dull space, add a bright lampshade to a regular lamp. It could be pink, yellow, green, purple, blue, or orange. It could be striped, plaid, glitter, sequins, fuzzy, or polka dot. The more vivid, the better. And the more lamps, the better the glow. One step above an ordinary lamp is a silly-shaped lamp. DCOM set decorators found the craziest objects to produce light. I honestly didn't realize how popular string lights were in these movies until now. I weirdly assumed it was more of a 2010s kind of thing, but boy am I wrong. I love how specifically creative the set decorators can make string lights. If you look carefully, the set production always showcases the characters' interests and dreams throughout string lights. For example, there are car string lights for Right on Track, star string lights for the Cheetah Girls, and planet string lights for Xenon. Stars and planets hanging from your ceiling give your room a stellar effect. Here's a little throwback to the 60s and 70s. We really were trying to recreate that 30-year cycle, huh? Very groovy. Around Halloween, Disney Channel became a little on the spooky side. While crystal balls aren't a staple for all bedrooms, they do pop up on occasion. Also, I wanted an excuse to show off Grandma Aggie's bedroom from Halloween Town too. If this was a ranking video, she's coming in first with the most fabulous room. No competition. Not often do we get a chance to see chandeliers in the DCOM bedroom set design, but later on in the decade, bedroom set designs became a touch more sophisticated. Cameron from Twitches, Gabriella from High School Musical, and Jamie from Read It and Weep had more mature and less childlike elements than their previous set decor. Arguably, the most essential part of any bedroom, the bed. Duh. It's pretty simple, but the way the characters in these movies put their own personalities into the comforter, headboard, and pillows makes all the difference. Every comforter displayed is every color of the rainbow and more. There's even a tie-dye print comforter featured in Go Figure. The key is mixing and matching bold colors, prints, and fabrics. Think flowers, polka dots, plaid, velvet, and florals. The gang's all here. If there's anything the Disney Channel taught me in my formative years, it's to buy every single novelty pillow I come across. At one point, I had a Hillary Duff pillow from Target sitting proudly on my bed. You can never have enough. Much like the comforters, they're in every color, print, and fabric under the sun. Shout out to Sam from Pixel Perfect for literally covering her entire day bed in silly pillows. Look out for shapes and themes like stars, flowers, palm trees, ladybugs, butterflies, and even blow-up pillows. How practical. I need at least 100. While these items are probably more pricey to come by while thrifting, it's a good investment if you find a really pretty or cool one. The DCOM bed frames were always so lovely. From the beautiful vintage rose headboard from Cowbells, the white canopy bed from High School Musical, the olive green frame from Now You See It, or Xenon's awesome bed that's built into the wall, these bed frames will make you feel totally envious. While these aren't the most exciting items about a bedroom, I had to include them. Usually curtains, drapes, and doors follow the color scheme of a bedroom, but of course, the Disney Channel put their own colorful spin on the staple. They're just a form of privacy at the end of the day, but if you get creative enough, they definitely can spruce up the place. Also known as pointiers, this is the type of covering or curtain that hangs over a doorway. This structure has been around for centuries, but gained popularity in the 60s when they get a flower power hippy-dippy-fied makeover. Usually decorated in colorful beads, flowers, gems, or pearls, they are used as curtains or doorway pieces in so many of these movies. As much as I'm tempted to purchase one myself, my cat would destroy them in 5 minutes. Sheers are an absolute staple in these sets. They're see-through curtains that come in every shade of the rainbow. Sometimes sheers can display glitter or flowers as a cute little touch. Whenever the sun rises or sets, the sheers can give a warm, comforting extra hue to the bedroom. My favorite are seen in Stuck in the Suburbs and Read It and Weep. Once again, I adore the flower power. French doors are seen more in the later DCOMs. Much like chandeliers, they are featured in bedrooms with more of a sophisticated touch. Gabriella from High School Musical has French doors that lead to her balcony. Jamie from Read It and Weep has French doors that lead to her own private writing nook. I feel like every kid in the early 2000s had a keep out sign on their door at one point. It's not shown too often in these movies, but it makes my heart pretty happy when it's displayed. The trope is pretty juvenile, and it's the only thing on the list I wouldn't repeat, but for nostalgia's sake, it sure is fun. Now we've proceeded to the Office Max Chic portion of the video. One of the most identifying pieces in the teen bedroom is the desk area. This is a special place where the teen can get all their daily work done. These characters are shown writing novels, producing music, creating documentaries, or working on beautiful pieces of art. Gosh, I wish I had the motivation of these 15-year-olds. It's the centerpiece of the protagonist's passions or procrastinations. You'll see driven characters like Galleria from the Cheetah Girls producing a song on a well-organized desk. Or you see the procrastinators like Brittany from Stuck in the Suburbs or Allie from The Ultimate Christmas Present avoiding their homework. Notice the messy desk in the background. Y'all know they ain't studying. Let's check out some must-haves on every DCOM desk. Picture frames on a desk, bedside table, or shelf really give the aesthetic a sweet and nostalgic touch. It's also a charming detail when the set decorator adds personal photos from the actor's childhood. They are the easiest to pick up because thrift stores always have an abundance of eye-catching and cool frames. Another easy thrift find, pick up an adorable eye-catching mug and fill it with pencils and pens. Gel pens, glitter pencils, and fruit-scented markers. It's all about your glitter pen perspective. Hee hee, wink wink, subscribe to the channel. Every authentic Y2K gal had some type of diary or journal on their desk. The really creative ones even had their own scrapbook. DCOMs heavily relied on this trope as a form of exposition and character building. Even now, it's easy to find an adorable journal or diary at any given dollar store, but everyone knows the best journals were created by the one and only Lisa Frank. Usually the go-to desk chair in these films are a spin chair in multiple colors. I wanted to point out the more creative Y2K seating though. You were the real deal if you had a beanbag chair, a blow-up chair, a butterfly chair, or my personal favorite, a window seat. The early 2000s was an incredibly enjoyable time for technology. Unlike today, where we rely on our smartphones for every aspect of entertainment, we had individual pieces for every corner of our interest. You never left your house without a Palm Pilot, MP3 player, virtual Tamagotchi pet, and Sidekick Messenger, and that was all for the bus ride home. The real party started when you got home into your bedroom and you talked on the phone for hours with your BFF, blasting the new Britney CD on the lime green boombox while also watching cartoons on your TV at the same time. It's called multitasking. A classic trope in the DCOM is starting off your blissful morning with a loud booming alarm clock ringing in your ear. Nowadays, we have it so much easier because we set our phones to a peaceful, sweet song to wake up to. As annoying as they were, the DCOM alarm clocks were so aesthetically pleasing to look at. The clocks on screen were always colorful and matched everyone's room and color palette so perfectly. The boombox is a staple in Y2K decor. There's nothing better than chillin' in your room listening to a mix CD your crush made for you. The boombox, portable CD player, tape player, or MP3 player is a great movie montage tool. The protagonist presses play on any musical device and a burst of joy, sorrow, anger, or silliness fills the scene depending on which song is selected. You can still find adorable boomboxes to this day. Make yourself a mix CD with all your favorite Y2K jams and fuel your nostalgia. I personally have not had a home phone number since roughly 2013. It's all smartphones all the time. But doing this video almost made me consider buying a Princess telephone. The telephone has been a trope in teen media since the dawn of time. There's always a call within the friend group that notifies the audience that something significant is about to go down. The phones used in DCOMs are always bright with a fun pattern or shape. If you wanted to get super high tech, you could always go for the headset or flip phone option as well. This ain't your mama's ordinary white kitchen phone. The idea of computer video chatting with your best friend every morning to pick out your school outfits was a dream to say the least. Scratch that. The goal of owning your own personal computer or laptop was truly aspirational in itself. Of course, since it was the late 1990s and early 2000s, the computers of the day were bulky. However, there was always a way to spruce them up. Fuzzy computer covers, sparkly mouses, sticker-covered keyboards, and silly mouse pads were all the rage. I'm genuinely considering going to Michael's Crafts and buying up some fuzzy material and framing it around my desktop screen. Very similar to the computers of the day, the televisions were quite bulky. The set decorators dressed up the television with fuzzy materials or stickers to make them a little more fun. If you ever come across a box TV while thrifting, I highly recommend picking one up. To really have fun with the TV, get yourself an HDMI to AV converter and hook it up to a Fire Sticker game console and enjoy your favorite content in style. We all know the preparation behind putting together a signature look when you're a teenager takes time. These films know this too, and boy, does DCOM love theirself a good montage. There's always a scene of a character in front of their vanities primping and prepping. And of course, the vanity is cluttered to the nines with pretty tiny things. You can easily throw these items on a vintage vanity at home to achieve the look. Think pretty perfume bottles, boa draped over the mirror, tiny stickers and photos attached to the mirror, jewelry box, nail polish, makeup, sunglasses. The more clutter, the more options to make yourself look and feel fabulous. And there you have it, folks. It's your own personal shopping list of what to look out for when redecorating your space. You're welcome. One really positive thing about the Y2K aesthetic, both fashion and decor-wise, is you can find so many items secondhand. If you're lucky enough to come across any of these items at the thrift store, it's a good feeling to know that you can give these items a new appreciation in life. During the uncertainty of the pandemic era, many of us turn to escapism. We tend to look towards our happier moments and relive our childhoods. With Disney Plus launching in 2020, it couldn't have came at a better time. Reliving these childhood stories was the comfort blanket during a scary, stormy night. It was lovely to see people reminiscing about these films online. It was even more satisfying to see an entirely new generation fall in love with them too. A healthy dose of escapism can open multiple doorways to creativity. It's a fun way to imagine yourself living in a different world. It's been super adorable seeing so many creators transport themselves back to a simpler time through TikTok, Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram, and even podcasts. At the end of the day, you really are the set designer of your own story. You choose the color scheme, the decor, the props, and overall visual look. Even if you're doing something simple, the tiniest details surrounding you are essential. What they see in the background is what they perceive about your character. But that's just how I see it. What's your glitter pen perspective?